Everyone talks about making big returns, 10x, 20x, especially in the crypto space, doubling their money, hitting the next jackpot. But here's the truth. Successful investors aren't chasing returns, they're obsessed with minimizing risk. Last year, I made $700K with my business and $400K with my investments. And if there's one thing I've learned from teaching this over and over, it's this. Risk management is the real secret to long-term success, especially in volatile markets. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how they do it. First, I'll show you how to minimize risk in your investments, and this is the strategy that separates successful investors from those who lose big. Then I'll dive into one of the most important parts of investing that people often overlook: how to keep your emotions out of the game. It sounds simple, but it's critical to long-term success. After that, I'll talk about my personal investment strategies, the ones that helped me make $400K last year alone through investing and trading. So the very first important thing when it comes to minimizing risk is to first understand what is the risk actually that I have when I invest. Most people don't understand and are very scared of getting into the markets, actually using their own money and investing and trading it, because they think they can lose more than what they put into the investment or into their position. So if you are using real brokers, real crypto brokers or real forex brokers or stock brokers, then you can only lose what you put on the account. And that's our very first way on how to minimize and calculate our own risk, is by understanding that only the money that we put on our brokerage account, on our Binance account, on our Bybit account, on our multi-bank broker, tag markets broker, it doesn't matter. These are just some brokers that I, for example, use. If you put that money on this broker, that's the max you can lose. So how to minimize risk is pretty easily answered. Before we take a trade, it is already on how much money you actually deposit, the equity you deposit into your account. And obviously here's where most people already make the biggest mistake. They tend to invest or use capital that they are not ready to lose. Money that would hurt them once they lose it in a position in the markets. Let's say they use money, they inherited it. I had many people, since I'm a leader of a large trading community all over the world, many people come to me and obviously they share their mistakes with me. And one of the biggest mistakes is that people inherit money or they make big money. Now they want to make more out of it so they can live comfortably, maybe out of the inheritance, or maybe because they by luck won money somewhere or made a good crypto investment and didn't really know what they were doing. And then they tend to use that money and think they're gonna double, triple, quadruple it in the next couple of months by starting to trade all of this money. And the problem is with money that you have inherited or money that you made and you cashed out from something else, is that this money you may not need right now, but obviously you should not take all of it. So I would always go about taking money that you are ready to lose. So before you put it on the broker, before you're ready to trade or invest with it, before you go into the market, exactly before that, you already are minimizing your risk by only using money that you're 100% ready to lose. And you might tell yourself, oh yeah, Miguel, I'm ready to lose that money. But once it's gone, you feel that you were not ready to lose it. So only take money you're very comfortable with losing. Now understand, everyone has to start somewhere. And to be very honest, when I started, I also used money that I was not comfortable with losing, but I still, instead of putting $10,000 on one account at one time, even though I didn't even have the money back in the time, I would always deposit $500, then lose it, then put another $500 and lose it, put another $200 and lose it. So accumulated, I lost over $10,000 before I started to be profitable with Forex trading. I'm a Forex trader now since 8 years, very profitable in Forex, crypto and stocks. But before that, I had to lose money and accumulated $10,000. But the good thing is I didn't use the $10,000 at one point and lost it all with, let's say, 1 or 2 trades. No, I redeposited all the time and I was comfortable with losing $200, $500, $200, $500. And over the time while I was making money with my online business, I was able to fund this instead of using money from other people or even lending money or taking a credit, which I would never do, especially if you don't know how to trade and invest. Later on, you can use other people's money, but that's something you do after 5, 6, 7, 8 years, once you became an insanely good trader investor and you're very, very comfortable with yourself and you have your emotions under control, as I do, because I know I could and I can take big positions because my mindset, my emotional control, my risk management, my strategy in trading is perfect. But in the beginning, it's obviously not. It's a direct opposite. So you should not play with money that is not yours, and you should not risk money that you don't have. If you don't have money to trade, invest, Doesn't matter. Nowadays, you can start trading accounts with $20, $50. You can use demo accounts. You can use very smart products, right, in the trading space to minimize your own risk and maximize the leverage, which is completely okay in the beginning. But again, the very first thing on how to minimize risk is to actually use the money that you're ready to lose, and you cannot lose more than that as long as you are on a good broker and a recommended broker, an international broker that maybe even has a license in your country. Now, the second most important step when it comes to investing and trading is the emotions. You need to have your emotions under control. Why is that such a big problem in trading? And that's also the number one reason why 80% of people lose money in trading and investing, is because the emotions kick in. And there's nothing we can do by default against that. We as humans are emotional. We as humans tend to go down the route of, let's say, being greedy, not knowing how to deal with stressful situations once there's a lot of money on the line. We are not very good in losing, especially not with money. Now, I would say one of the most emotional subjects all around the world that every human has to fight with is money. I grew up in a family where money was always a trigger point, it was always a problem. Therefore, it was a very emotional upbringing. Because money, not having money, the lack of money, obviously triggered a lot of fights, a lot of problems, a lot of BS at the end of the day. And that's how most people live out there. It's like they're so emotional about money because obviously money is very important. And my mentors told me, Miguel, money for people sometimes is so important that it comes second to breathing, right? So breathing, and then the second one is money. If you don't have it, it just sucks. So if you don't have money, especially if you don't have money, and you think investing and trading is gonna get you out of your debt, is gonna get you out of your miserable situation, then most likely I would tell you it's not gonna take you out of the situation. Because I found out, and one of the biggest game changers for me, once I had my emotions under control, which we're gonna talk about in a second how to control them, is once I had money, then it was way easier for me to create more money out of abundance than instead of the need. I still remember the emotional ups and downs back in the times when I was trading, the money that I actually did not really have, right? Even losing that amount of money would not have put me on the streets or anything, but it was still emotional. Everything was emotional. Every dollar I made, every dollar I lost was an emotional gameplay, right? But once I broke out of this vicious circle of trying to create more money out of debt, out of no money, right? And once I understood that trading actually means making more money out of money, there's a spiritual way to that. It comes out of abundance, and it's way easier to create money out of abundance. Everyone obviously has to go through these struggles. It doesn't even matter if you have a lot of money or not. But if you think trading or investing is gonna be the tool to take you from $10 to $1 million or getting you out of debt, it's not gonna be that. You're negative when you're trading, and your personal state, your emotional state, your well-being, how you feel, is gonna have a big effect in your trading. So in trading, I have 5 confirmations before I enter a position in any markets. If it's meme coins, stocks, crypto, forex, whatever I do, right? Before I enter a position, one of my 5 confirmations, right? That's my last one. The 5th confirmation for me is asking myself the question, Miguel, are you emotional stable right now? Do you feel good or bad? What is your mindset? Are you tired? Are you entering this trade because you heard it from someone? Do you have the biggest problem in trading is the fear of missing out, the FOMO, right? The feeling of FOMO. Are you having this right now? And if I check all of these ones with no, means I found that trade myself. I'm in an emotional, stable state. I'm not greedy. Many people tend to overtrade a lot and trade to get the money back that they lost. So they would enter a position, make some money. Then they go in because they think they're gonna make more, and they increase their risk. Now they lose the money. And now once they lose money, that is the problem with having no money and having problems with money while you're trading and investing, is they would now try to make that money back that they lost. And if you are a trader or investor, you're gonna laugh right now, because we all had that. We were all in this position where we kind of try to just make, we have this feeling like, let me just try to get back what I had and then I'm gonna quit this for today. But that's what you can never go down. There will be days you lose, there will be days you win, but how to keep your emotions under control in this game is by actually doing a lot of personal development. It is by making the mistakes. You will need to make these mistakes. Even if you have education from some of the best traders in the world, even then you need to make these mistakes yourself, but you should do it with a low budget, because on $500 or $100,000, it's still gonna be the same feeling, right? But the only way on how to really minimize your emotions in the trading game is by having a fixed setup and system that you follow. No excuse. There's no excuse. You need to follow. I have my 5 points. My trading system, number 1, right? My emotional well-being and state, right? Number 2, my EMA setup. Number 3, and these things may not tell you anything, but that's my confirmation, right? So then it's the entry zone, right? Marked by the system. Do you have an entry zone or not? And the last one for me, also a very important one, obviously, before I enter into the position, is just an overall price action, how the market is doing, right? So that might be my 5 confirmations. You maybe have 3, 4, 5, or 10, it doesn't matter. But what is really the answer to keep your emotions under control is having a fixed system. And that's where it's already a big problem, because most people out there will not teach you a trading system. They will teach you a concept. One of the biggest concepts out there is called SMC, Smart Money Concept. Many people trade it, but it's a concept. It's not 100% defined. So if you are looking for learning, if you are looking for a trading system and you really want to learn trading, then do me a big favor. Even if you don't do it with us and with our community, please learn a system that is defined from the very beginning until the very end. So how do I find the trade setup? Where do I enter? Always needs to be the same. So in trading, we say if you want to keep your emotions out, your system needs to be duplicatable and replicatable. It needs to be duplicatable and replicatable in every market, and it's always the same entry, the same exit. Follow a step-by-step system in trading, and if that's something you don't have, let me know in the comments below. We have space for people in our community that actually really want to learn trading, as I did it with the very same system, not concept. Everything well defined. My strategy when it comes to investing and trading, and I will go back a little bit in time when I started, is number 1, have a strong trading system in general, as I was just talking about before. You need a system that is well defined from the very first beginning until the very last step. Where do you take profit? Where do you enter? Where's your stop loss? Always needs to be the same. Preferably, it's going to be a system that is usable in every market. You can use it in the forex markets, in the crypto markets, in the stock market, in the meme coin market, all of that. Some systems might only work for a certain pair, which is okay, but rather learn a real trading system that can then be used and applied in every market, okay? The second step, have a mentor. 100% one of the most important reasons why I'm so successful in life with business and trading and investing is because I had some of the best mentors in this world, and they still teach me today. And I'm still surrounding myself constantly with successful people in the trading space, always learning. So find a mentor and find a community. Now, you can find mentors and communities for very cheap. You can find communities and mentors for a lot of money. And I think you should definitely invest, and you have to invest money into mentorship and into a community, but it's not like you need to invest tens of thousands of dollars to buy trading courses or whatever, right? There's trading communities as ours, the TPR, where you can start with the lowest price of $99 and the highest of $1,500, and the trading education even is at the $99 package. To give you an example, whether there are some people out there that charge $10,000, I would never pay that. You don't need that, right? The reason why we are the best trading community in Europe and soon in the whole world is because especially we have a system that teaches everything step by step. So have a community and a mentor, have a real system, right? The other important thing is it will take time. I'm gonna be very honest with you. It took me 3 years to become profitable. It took me 5 years to become really profitable. And it took me 6 to 7 years, where now, since 2 years, I just know to the point what I'm doing. I have an 80 to 90% hit ratio. So 80 to 90% of all of my trades, they hit my profit. You just know, right? It's like with everything else you do in life. You might be insanely good in boxing because you boxed in 7 or 8, 9 years. Or you are very good in your business. You're very good at your job. You're very good in driving cars. You're very good in basketball, whatever it is. But once you really do it for, let's say, like 6, 7, 8 years straight, every day, a couple of hours, you will just have a confidence level where you just do it while sleeping, right? It feels like it's just like an automated program. When I open the chart, I don't need to draw anything. I already see everything. I see the entry levels. I see the exit levels. I see what has happened in the past. It's so easy for me because obviously I have watched and looked and learned and tried out and blood, sweat and tears over the last 7 to 8 years now. My biggest advice and strategy is have mentorship, have a community, right? Understand that you need a system. It takes time, right? You should at least at least understand that if you start today to learn trading and investing, it's gonna take you 2 or 3 hours every day for the next 3 years. And that's okay. It's not something that you need to be insanely intelligent to do, but it's complex and it will take a lot of time. You will learn so much about you, because trading at the end of the day is just a mirror directly into your face. All your problems, all your past, your traumas, greed, how you deal with money, anxiety, all of these things are gonna come out. But it's the best journey that I've ever gone through in my life, is trading and building a business, because it teaches you so much about yourself. Why there are people losing money in the markets if there are people like I that teach people? And I think that's pretty simple to answer. I think most people just have an insanely high ego. They're very uneducated. They think they can do it themselves. They think it's easy. As I just said, everyone that tries to do it for themselves, they will just lose. I've never seen someone just do it for themselves and just go into the markets and learn it all by themselves, right? Never have seen that. Probably there's a couple of people, but it's very, very rare. So I think the biggest mistakes people do is that they have a too high of an ego. They think they just know and they will figure it out by themselves by watching 2 YouTube videos. That's like me saying I'm gonna become a doctor because I watched Scraps or I watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to operate someone. If you want to make money out of it, or you wanna have a benefit, you wanna feel good, whatever, make you money, then you need to put it in first into yourself. So when you want to build a business, first you should learn how to build a business. So you should use that money and not put it into a business or into trading or investing account and then lose it all. You should use it to acquire knowledge, to acquire mentorship, to use a community or have someone teaching you on a demo, on a playground. First you go into the test phase and then you do it. Imagine people that build airplanes, Airbus, Boeing or whatever. They don't build a plane and they just shoot it up in the sky and hope it flies. No, they do tests, they simulate, they try out, right? There's a lot of tests before this thing even goes into the air, right? Because they need to be 100% sure that if this thing goes into the air, it's gonna work. But before that, what happens on the groundwork, all the analysis, the calculations, all the learning, all of that happens before. Everyone does that. Why not we as traders and investors and people that want to build a business? We need to first invest in ourselves, in real mentorship and the real information, because information changes the situation. So invest first into your education in trading, in your education in business, in your education about relationships, in your education about health, and then you start to implement it into your life. And once you know where you're going, then you can give it 100% and just run towards your goals. That's the same with trading and business and everything in life. You just had luck and the right timing. And to be very honest, this is something that makes me very, very sad if people say that. And I know people will always think that, and besides that, I don't really care, because I see the results on my screen. I see the results in my bank account, in my lifestyle, in the faces of the people that I love, when I'm capable to afford beautiful and necessary things for them. Seeing my mom driving a Jaguar F-Type is one of the best things I've ever seen, you know? So I know the results that I have, but it is insanely disrespectful to call someone lucky where they got into the right time. Yes, there's always a certain portion of luck, and yes, there's always a certain portion of the right timing, but I have put blood, sweat and tears over the last 8 years into my online business and into learning the skill of trading and investing to build my persona, my character, my wisdom, my knowledge, my relationships. All of that was forged through blood, sweat and tears and investing so much time, giving off other things and putting them aside. So luck and the right timing is important, but that's not what's gonna make a good trader and a profitable trader. A profitable trader, long-term especially, is gonna be someone that has luck and the right timing on his side, but also forged his skill set through hard and rough times, right? Put blood, sweat, tears into it, had a mentor, and tried it out and continued when everyone would stop. Because trading will teach you especially one major thing, and that is who you really are. And some people are just not ready to face who they really are. If you are ready to do that, then I wish you good luck in the trading space and the right timing. It's not gonna be based on that, but it's gonna be important.